Hello everyone, and welcome to the Apollo 14 Expeditions Waypoint 3, Waypoint Roosa. And we're going to have an SRV race very soon. And, yep, we're getting ready for it. Okay, I'm going to have the laser to designate the start-finish line, and then we'll get going shortly. We'll dismiss the ships first, though. Okay, if anyone wants to dismiss their ships, ready to dismiss in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, dismiss.
Let's fly. It's really beautiful.
And there they go, up into the heavens.
Perfect.
Wait,
Straight into the ring.
Some of those ships, I was going to say, the autopilot's a bit lazy on some of them. Here we have the beautiful world with the gas giant. A very sort of, kind of pinky kind of colour this surrounds, pinky orange. Right, okay, the SRV race is ready. I'm at the start, and if everyone is ready with their SRVs.
Nice car.
don't forget fuel.
Right, okay. Ready to roll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And they're off. Well, here with a crunchy sound already. Is someone already mangling their SRV?
Please don't.
I can hear various crunching noises. Oh, this is a full contact race.
Yeah, you can hear the crunchy noises before you see what's happened to anyone.
Just as a reminder, turn your report crimes
So-
off.
Yeah,
SUV
yeah.
just made from baguettes. Now your life will never be the same. Basically, ho ho ho.
Oh, we've got the ASP as well, also providing a chase spacecraft for this.
Why is my SRV a meter a second slower than everyone else's?
Maybe you're using different settings.
Do you have drive assist on?
No, driver assist's off.
Do you have all pips to
Brother,
drive?
sister.
Everything's gone. The command line's all the way forward on the instruments. I just seem to be very slightly slower than
That's strange.
the other.
I am first. I'm really first.
Shouldn't really be a thing, but it somehow is. Right.
I've gone into the wrong direction.
I think if you
Yeah,
can
that's
see my
driving the
ship,
Scarab, but
that should be roughly the
Yeah, I've
direction
gone
you should be aiming in. Where my laser is
I've
kind
gone
of
up.
roughly the direction you
I
should be
drove
going
into a geyser.
in.
Wait.
Cockney
Field
geezer.
of geezers. No, field of geezers. Yeah.
How many constitutes a field?
It's a good question.
And now to the
Oh.
right.
I'll say one thing for the Scorpion. It is quite short for a second. I can just smash into things and keep going.
If you can see my laser, you know which direction you're going in. If you can see me, actually, you know which direction you should be going in. But yeah, I can see the SRVs over there.
No, onto that alcove.
I must admit, part of my mind did actually think, why do we make this like an on-foot thing? I think we'll be here for days if we do it on foot. You know?
I see the laser. Gotcha. Moving on.
Run out of battery packs before you reach the end.
Oh,
The other thing
definitely.
with on foot is people have different levels of suit engineering.
Exactly, at 100% fatality rate, even for the engineered suits.
Hasn't somebody actually walked the planet, with support from a
Yeah,
Yeah.
ship that
yes.
You would need that, wouldn't you? You
like,
couldn't
rolls
make it
through,
all the way
dips
around.
down and recharges it.
But yeah, it's remarkable to, even with support, to go all the way around, and the persistence to do that. SRV around a small world is, you know, doable, and takes a while. But it's like, how long did they take
you
to?
can synthesize fuel on an SRV.
Yeah, on foot. It's like, how long
I
did it
remember-
take
yeah.
them?
Yeah, I know. I remember tracking Kit when he did his circumnavigation of Mercury.
That was
It
remarkable.
took 40 days.
40 days to go around.
Jesus.
How long did it take on foot then? Like a best part of a year or something?
Probably.
Unless the world was like the smallest world you could find in the game or something. I don't know.
Ooh, finally some speed.
Right, cool.
I can't see anybody. Have you all gone down the pub?
Whoops.
Not told me.
No, it's. I think it's where the mountain is.
Seriously, Joe, the end line is about 45 kilometres in a circular track from the start, so we're all heading away from you right now, and we will not
Oh, right.
be with you for a long time.
Okay.
I can see you on the radar.
Right.
You seriously need to climb in there?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no.
Ooh, I
Need
hear a
to climb
crunchy sound. Someone's in trouble, are they? Now, where my laser's about to go is like the kind of approximate path, I think. Or the higher path is over here. But it's... either one is kind of... has its advantage and disadvantage. If you can do the higher path, then great. The lower path, I don't know if it's any quicker. It probably isn't. I expect the higher path might be the quickest route, though. This one here. But yeah. I think that's actually the designated path, the higher one anyway, so... Right, see where everyone is. We've got Coded Steve about 700 meters away. I think we've got another bunch of SRV people. Was that a landed ship over there?
Nobody lost?
I don't know. I'm going to put my laser vertically anyway, just to make sure that everyone's sort of all vaguely aware of what direction we're in. Making sure I'm exactly in the right place. There's no point in misleading people by accident.
Well, ready.
Ah, someone is on the side. I can see them now. They are going the right direction. I will move to the sort of mountain path, as it were, just so that
Yes.
even if someone's
that's the
lost,
one.
they've got a sort of turn signal, as it were. Bear with me a second, and
I
I
know
will.
the secret of this
I will
one.
provide. Make sure not to hit any SRVs on the ground. If you can see my laser vertically, that's the kind of
That
path
was
you should be
very
aiming for.
close.
Oh, okay,
Gotcha.
sorry. Yeah, oh, now I see
No,
you, so
no
I'll
worries.
move slightly to the right. Unfortunately, my ship does oscillate a bit under these conditions. Yeah,
I should have. That's-
if you can see the
okay.
laser, then that's kind of the path you should be aiming for, approximately. The green laser, that is, not the finishing laser. I can see a few people on it now. Yep, good, good. I accidentally shoot an SRV from a
I am
distance.
here. Just at contact, we made a longer path, so we are first here at the spot.
Oh, that's a geyser going off Giza over there. Yeah, a geezer going down the pub, of course. You know, he's also expert in geysers as well.
I will later be a geezer going down.
I'm going the correct way.
Indeed, indeed.
We're going up the hill.
Yeah, I had to stop firing for a second there because I saw the SRV.
Can't tell which direction to go.
If you can see my laser, that's the direction you should be heading in for the mountain path. And there's also a geezer geyser off to the side with my laser as well, so it's
Yep.
like a double sort of indication. If anyone else has
This
a problem.
incline is getting more and more tilted as I go along it.
Yeah, yeah. As someone was pointing out, I think it's kind of B8's pointing out what a ridiculous slope the Scorpions can go up. That's true. The Scorpion is incredibly like a mountain goat type vehicle, but the problem is it's not very good on the flat, so it swings and roundabouts. Which one you're going to pick? We did mountain climbing SRV. I think most people would probably go for the Scorpion. I do have a Scorpion on one of my ships, but I think it isn't this one.
So we actually figured where to drive. No, not down there.
It
I'm
really
looking
helps
at
to
the
zoom
angle of
out
tilt I've
your
got now
radar.
is absurd. I think my
Yes.
It's interesting.
even the
to-
Scorpion's
course.
going to end up rolling down this hill any second now.
Yeah.
And then there'll
I
be an
slide
earth-shattering
down.
boom.
My bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
coded
no.
Steve in my wing so I can see his progress.
Where'd
down
they go?
there. If there's anyone else behind, I will have a
I'm
quick
just
look.
following some of the others, hoping they're going in the right direction.
Yeah, that's often the way, isn't it? It's just like, I hope this person knows where they're going, because I certainly don't. But it's always the easiest thing to actually become disorientated within, especially you spin a lot. It's like, well, unless you've got an exact kind of bearing, but even if you've got a bearing, you will not stay on that bearing. So it's because of terrain.
Also, the steep climb. Oh, that's too steep. I'm drifting.
Yep, I went, I saw, I failed.
You what?
I went, I saw, I failed.
It's like the inverse Caesar, really, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh fuck.
That's very unusual racing.
Right, I think most people are on the mountain path now, as far as I can tell. See how far ahead some are. I'm going to fly down further down the path to see where everyone's got to. This is quite a precarious
Well-
route, but yeah. Hence, this is the fun. You can see the tracks of the SRVs here.
Yeah.
At least you know that you're sort of in the right direction. Yeah, flying much further down
Is
the
that really a
terrain
right
now.
direction?
I'm gonna
I
get.
can see some SRV lights in the distance.
That's good. We're all in the same instance, still all on track. Oh, someone's driving at like about an 80-degree angle on the side. That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
That's why you need the
That might be me.
Scorpion
I'm at a
here.
hell of a tilt. Oh,
As am I.
Good,
Every
good.
time I catch air, I drift
Wait
downhill.
a minute. They have advantage, you know?
Oh, sorry,
They
whoever
have
that
much
was.
better grip than Scarabs.
Now you're entering the shadow of the mountain. Gets a bit harder to see.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
someone's
fully
way ahead that I can
Because of
see.
that,
Two
I'm
SRVs
flying
with
on
lights
you.
ahead. So, yeah, they're doing well.
Get shin, get... No, I get shin, get...
I will laser ahead just now to make sure everyone's also on the same path. But I think once you're on the path, it's a bit easier to work it out.
Shit, raise your demon intensifies. Help me, please. I'm still flying. No,
Just
really,
have your
but wait.
repair ready.
Yeah. Be
Keep repairing as you tumble down the hill.
absolutely. It's the best advice you can give to any SRV racer. I think no matter how good or bad you are, that's the first lesson you really learn is like keep the repair at hand, be ready to use it. Yeah, the road gets a bit easier once you sort of get further down.
And you know what? I am perfect representation of Shingo. I am red Civic.
Oh, I see an SRV track up ahead.
Yeah, you can see the lights is on the SRVs ahead, and the tracks. Just give a panorama
Wait
of
a
where
minute.
we are. Yeah.
I probably have a traction lost.
Yep,
Oh,
that's
wait.
me.
You're sort of only theoretically in control of this SRV.
See what
Someone's
looks like
tumbling
a
down.
possible winner.
I hope it's this little thing.
Okay, I've roofed it. No, I
Oh,
don't
I
know
see
where.
the gazers.
I've kind of lost my. Oh, there we are. I think that's
Wait for me.
Am I supposed to go down here?
Vagabond X.
If you look down into the valley, there's a big crater.
Yep, and
And
cross that bit now.
and you can drop down about there, and then you'll hit the field of geysers.
More like the field of boulders.
Yeah, I've encountered some massive ice boulders.
Well, it seems like a P2. Husky?
Is this the finish line? Yeah.
I hope so.
Joe should be the finish line with their other lasers.
Where Joe?
Right.
Oh no.
For some reason, I can't actually see the names on the SRVs, so I can't declare a winner.
Probably
But
has gear.
it's the one in the horrible purple scarab.
Has gear.
I think you slightly misspoke. It's beautiful.
Oh, right.
The eyes are the first to go.
Did you use the word geezer in the last half hour?
I think everyone's used that word in the last half hour.
Because that disqualifies you in my book.
Everyone's disqualified.
That's okay. I'm not interested in winning now. I'm just interested in surviving.
Wise indeed.
Easy, homie.
Oh, finally I'm
I
picking
do
up some speed in this thing.
Yeah, the last time I saw a grade like this, it was in the movie.
Guys, tickets for speeding. Just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, good thing the cops aren't out here. We'd all be in trouble very quickly for speeding.
Or at least for reckless driving.
Yes. In some cases, drunk driving as well.
I don't know, mine's been quite wreck full.
Yes.
I can't.
And now I've flown through the geyser and I'm...
Forget about winning. I need to get out. Somehow.
Oops.
Can't
Ow,
tell if
that
I'm
hurt.
lost or out in front somehow.
I believe the last time I saw a grade like this was back in Mass Effect 1.
Nice.
Back on tracks.
I can't help thinking you might get out and start looking for some minerals while you're here.
That might be
With the
wise.
brain trees and the geezers, you might pick up a few bits.
Encoded Steve's like 7k away. I don't know if... oh, that's his ship, isn't it? Oh yeah, it's his ship. I think something... I thought he was in some different place by now, but it's his ship instead. So that makes sense.
At least I wasn't last today.
Yeah, that may be me.
No, I overshot by quite a bit. I'm lagging way behind.
Okay, Steve's gonna
Back
switch
in
ships.
from
That's
the
cool.
jet.
Whee!
Uh-oh.
No, I'm sliding down.
Uh-oh.
I just seen you shoot past me.
One good thing about my ship
Uh-oh.
is it has quite a good shield, so I'm not going to get accidentally killed by a flying SRV or a fighter crashing into me. Hopefully.
1.4 kilometers up.
I'm guessing
Anyone done better?
that standing in one of these jets on foot is a fairly poor idea.
Try it.
Someone has to
I
patch
don't want to
you.
lose all my expiration dates.
Well, that's why you should always sell it before you turn off. But I mean, I'm going to bring my ship
Let's
closer
put
to
do
you.
not in the chat.
Yeah, you
I
can get
think-
launched about 50 clicks into the air by a good jet.
I have seen this on video. Yeah, I think I have been present when one happened actually. I don't know which expedition it was, but I have seen it with my own
there's no
eyes.
stopping it now.
Someone's going to try, and someone's going to die.
I almost got.
Oh
Got
yeah,
far
if
enough
you,
to get to
I
another
know about
planet,
the pushing
actually.
ships. If you have
Yeah.
flight assist off with some of the strong ones, you
I
can
am
even notice
alive.
the move a cutter.
I am alive, damn it.
There's nothing to the ship, though, interestingly enough.
Yeah, if you turn FA off, you'll notice it, especially in a smaller ship
Okay,
like
yeah.
a courier. But even in a cutter, you can notice it slightly. But you have to be FA
27.
off.
Time to repair.
Well, it's a jet wash of the
was
ship,
a
I
eight.
suppose, you know.
Ooh.
It's a nice scene, though. A couple of Scorpion SRVs.
I'm dancing on the slides.
It's gonna take a while to get back.
Okay. Well, we're still here at the Giza site.
That's the most awful race I ever had.
Or did you die in it, or did you just come really far back?
I get shinked outside. And due to too high steep, we all got lost in there. Below.
Yeah, it's a tough path, that one.
Logan, are you there?
Yep.
Got a problem?
Well, I'm down in the valley now.
Yes, me too.
You
Already
take the
got
high
off.
road and I'll take the low
So
road.
you will be the last, Logan. Sorry, but
Yippee, we back
I'm
again.
seeing some. Well, there are some ships out ahead of me here.
Yeah, that's where you're going.
flying sideways.
I'm sort of lost as to where I need to be now. I'm sort of nearly smashed into Yannick.
Yeah, if you can see me, you're in the right place.
Well, I'm practically underneath.
Okay. There should be other
I
people
will
in the
do
same
it.
instance
I
in that
will
case.
do it.
I'm only seeing Yannick and Mark, the only two I see around here.
Let me see who else is in my instance, just to be sure.
I'm seeing Yannick.
We've got Husker,
I'm still in.
Joss,
I
B8,
can't see anything. Where am I?
and Coded Steve's in the same wing as me.
Did someone just
No.
fire off a...
there we
Did someone just shoot off a missile? Oh, no, that's from the Scorpion.
Oh, I
Right.
should've-
Okay. Yeah. I can see the
I
missile,
did it.
but I can't see any. I've only got like 3 other people's ships with me at the moment.
I'm seeing more SRVs now.
Yeah. I
That's
can
the
see
Scorpions.
Finished
the
up
firing of a
style.
laser over there.
That was me.
Okay. I'll put my laser on so I'll sort of light up where we are. We're probably in the same instance, we're just not within range of each other.
Maybe fire upwards.
I'm
That's
getting
what I'm
altitude
doing.
and firing it downwards, so you can see. If you see the blue, sorry, the green laser. That's where I am at the moment.
Better stop firing off because there's an anaconda above me now.
It's me.
I'll consider that finished for me.
Yes.
Wherever you are, you're considered to be finished now.
Well, I just went right under your laser, so
Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Well, I am here too.
Yeah.
That was pretty good style. Seems I'm like 5th or something. Ah,
Or something.
It's a tough one, I'll admit. Yeah.
I'm gonna move out here onto the flats and summon my ship here.
Yeah, that makes sense. We should probably all move on to the flats. Actually, that might be a good idea. I'm going to move slightly towards a sort of flatter terrain. JB, if you could fire your laser to identify where you are, I think we can probably all meet in the same place.
Hi.
Okay, I'm just going to get to where it's slightly flatter as well.
Cool.
Start firing.
Okay.
It's quite funny that because of the way the game instances, we have to like communicate by lasers. They're like, "Where are you? Watch the sky." Like SRV firing there. Yeah, it is. Slightly confused for a moment. The wrong kind of laser.
Well, yeah, I don't actually have a laser on the SRV.
Yeah. It looks like it. But it's tracer, isn't it? That's the thing.
So the heading for the end of the race is 039. If you look in that direction, you'll see the distinctive volcanic plug or whatever it is.
It's effectively like race number 2 now because of where we've sort of ended up. But that's cool though. That's not a problem, I don't think. Race number
039.
Yeah. It's a fact. I know it originally supposed to be like a circuit, but we've sort of ended up making
It's
like 2 races. One to where we are now, and the second one will be to the, as you say, to the volcanic kind of plug.
For me, it's 040.
Oh, I see unmanned JBL. Yeah.
I'm not seeing my ship here.
I'm gonna move to a slightly flatter place down from the Giza site. Only small distance away.
I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be going.
Yeah, it might be wise to try and...
My throttle is...
I'll try and wing you in, Mac, just as... If you're with other people, then maybe they
I
can
can't
follow you.
really control myself anymore.
Alright.
Wait a minute. I have constant gas. Something is broken here.
I have a suspicion... I don't know if Mac's...
I
no, Mac's
know
not in a different instance.
another
He is in the
person.
same instance, thankfully. I think a lot of people are still in SRVs, so it's sometimes actually hard to see whether they're actually in the instance or not. Because you do get this sometimes on the contact panel. An SRV you can see visually is not actually showing up there. That is a bug that I think is still with us, unfortunately. Oh, there's a congregation of SRVs over here. Oh, I see them. Yeah, that's cool. I will descend to them. The thing is, this ship I'm in, this Orca,
seriously,
it's a
broken.
total drag racer, so it's insanely overpowered going forward. So it's like, you know, I have to
there's
be
my
so
ship.
careful when I'm going downwards.
On in.
Especially in like, we've got, what, 0.3 G, so it's not nothing.
I broke my SRV.
Yeah, SRV's lined up here, awesome.
Now it can only full throttle.
I will start the new start-finish line here. So, as Kit was saying, what was the bearing?
I need help.
060 degrees?
No,
039.
Sorry, 039. I stand corrected. 039 degrees is where we're racing to. Just sort of referencing the events images and to actually get myself to remind myself where we're going to. So yeah, so we are racing. Yeah, at the we're racing to that volcanic plug, as you say. Drag race to the Devil's Tooth. It's a good way of describing it. The Devil's Tooth,
What the hell are you
indeed.
doing? Get back.
Yeah, you can see it's quite a
Just wait for
distinct looking thing, the Devil's Tooth over there. Like a gnarly tooth with a little hole in it. Cool. I will line up a little bit better beneath the Cobra, back so I don't shoot it by mistake.
Do you need me at the Devil's Tooth to provide
Yes, that
visual?
would be great. Yeah. Please do.
Alrighty.
Cool. Right. I'll put Joe in my wing as well, so that we have a distance for where we're going.
Throttle control is malfunctioning heavily.
If I was the Cobra, I'd move slightly because I don't want to accidentally zap you. Which is a distinct possibility at the moment. Yeah, just getting a bit of altitude, this should be fine. Cool, right. When Joe is in position, we can get the show on the road once more.
The yellow one is not broken.
Yeah, don't worry. I think also, for in one of the future meets we will be doing some, there's a good old-fashioned on foot where it all began.
Yeah, my second service fine. Oh, finally.
Even though in elite terms they actually did the SRV stuff before the on foot, but in real life it's the other way around. So yeah.
Oh, I crashed out again.
Oh dear.
Oh no, what's a nice day.
Right. Okay.
It's one of those things.
So what are we rushing?
That sort of the sort of the toothy looking thing is the white mountain with a sort of cut down the middle. Looks like a sort of gnarly tooth. Okay, when Joe starts firing, we'll probably get going soon after that.
Yeah, I'm in position. I'll fire a few shots just so you can see it.
Cool. Don't think we can see anything from this angle. Maybe we're just too far away. Oh, I can see it now. Yeah, got it now. Yeah,
got it now.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well done.
I can see it.
Cool. Right, we're all ready to go though. I think all the SRVs are here. Is there anyone else who is still incoming for SRV?
I'm rebooting my game up.
Okay, we'll give it 5 minutes and to let you get
Great.
in.
I'll go and hide so you can't find the finish line.
Oh, you're running away with the ball.
Shot you right now.
Oh no. But yeah, we'll go in 5 minutes time. So that's like, hey out there, everyone in YouTube land, we're getting more views now. That's cool. We're here racing our SRVs around this. I was gonna say it's desolate, but it's not really that desolate a place actually. It's got more activity in this than most places we go to. It's got a nice atmosphere. It's got some interesting brain trees and some geysers, however you want to pronounce them. And I'm just giving a general look around for everyone out there in YouTube land. We've got the gas giant over there. You can maybe see the geyser activity in the distance, I hope. I don't think we can now. I think we're probably too far away from it. But, oh, we can see a little bit there. So you see the ship down the middle. From the nose, if you go straight forward, you can see a little of an eruption over there. It's a nice place, though. It looks cool. You've got a nice valley here. Or in the middle of the picture, it's also a nice little brain tree, which I will zoom in on as best I can. What's a confused things is like those of you who are familiar with the UK may know that there's a place in the county of Essex actually called Braintree, which is, I don't know why it's called that, but it is for some reason. It's probably like a sort of Norse or Anglo-Saxon word that was similar, but it's like evolved into Braintree over the years somehow. But yeah, they're still here from an earlier version of the game as well. In Horizons, they were fairly plentiful as well.
I like that view from here to the distant mountain.
Yeah.
Just like we're in Arizona, maybe.
It is pretty, isn't it? I will say that. But yeah. Once we've got Logan in a wing and he's landed, we'll get going
Oh, it's
immediately
not
after.
a wing. It's not a wing situation. My game just crashed.
Yeah. No, but I meant as soon as
I
we
was
get
actually-
you here, you know, I knew what happened to you, but don't worry.
Oh, right.
I meant as soon as you
I
actually
was
landed,
actually because of
we'll get
being
going.
back in this instant. It's complicated.
Well, maybe I'll get lucky and actually get into the instance where I was with all of you.
Yeah, that's the aim. Yeah, that's kind of what I was alluding to. But don't worry, we have time for once, so
Right.
we're doing okay. I think the first race actually went a bit quicker than I anticipated as well. We actually made quite a good time up the mountain and across it, in spite of the fact that it's actually quite a difficult angle, that one. So yeah,
Yeah.
well done to everyone for surviving. 10 out of 10, well done. 'Cause I seriously thought we might lose about a third of the SRVs going forward. You never know, that's the thing. Having said that, some terrain kind of lies in the way that it looks smooth but it isn't, or vice versa. It looks really gnarly and difficult, but it actually isn't too bad once you get down amongst it.
Yeah. Well, if I'd gone down any faster than I did when I banged up against that boulder, you might have lost me.
Oh well, you're still here, and that's the main thing.
Yeah.
I also came down like a bowling ball.
Yes, we. Yes, I noticed that gold-colored anaconda is hanging in the sky in exactly the way that bricks don't.
Yeah. Any quote really from Hitchhikers is always going to sit well with me.
I upload this on my in our page.
Oh, connection error.
Damn.
No, not
I
again.
I might not be able to get in.
Okay. In that case, shall
Don't
we
wait on
race?
me then.
Shall we race and see you at the finish line? In that case, yeah. If you can, everyone can turn
I'll
the headlights off their SRVs. That would be great. Just for the frame rate's a bit easier if we don't have it on. And we've got quite good light here anyway, so yeah, it would be best. Cool. Right. Okay. In that case, we are ready to roll once more.
Okay.
I will start.
And confirm. I actually got in, but I'm not in the same instance. So, yeah, don't wait up on me. I'm going to go ahead and get in my ship,
Okay.
and I'll meet you at the finish line.
We'll do that then. We're ready to roll, everyone, in your SRV race in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And they're away.
I'll watch on the YouTube stream.
It's always interesting to see how many people
Good luck to everyone.
do the SRV flying, because it's not an easy technique to master. I mean, I must admit I've not really mastered it myself. I can do it, but I'm far from perfect at it.
Mm-hmm.
Much easier in a Scarab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Scarab does a
It's
bit
more
better flying.
streamlined, more heavy, and can climb, but not so fast.
Yeah. Yeah, navigation this is a bit of an easier race because it's just a blast down the plane.
Let's see.
We've still got boulders, we've still got various obstacles.
Yes, so many of them.
Come on. My bad.
Search for the good path.
It's also easy for the chase ship to get down amongst them. I'm kind of bringing up the rear here, I think. I think Mac, I don't know if he's actually the last, but he's relatively near the rear in this. I will back off slightly so I can hang back a bit more. I think the field is still relatively close together though. We've got the brain trees obviously to the right. They can't be worth very much, these brain trees either, because I suppose most people have already scanned them and don't think they're
Well,
only...
actually, I scanned them earlier when I knew that they had already been scanned. I got like something like 25 million.
Really? I haven't handed mine in yet,
Yeah.
so I had no idea either way. Let's go further forward into the field.
Past little forests of brain trees just back there.
Yeah, that's why I was doing the commentary on them. One's to the right. I think we've got some more coming up. Also, be to your right, Mac, as we go by. They probably will be visible to you shortly. But yeah, there's some good ones here. There's way more brain trees than I anticipated. Because obviously there's some where we the meetup point was earlier. Those are the ones that I scanned. So.
Yeah. Don't recommend eating the fruit off the brain trees unless you want to get CJD.
Yeah, it's not really great. It's got a bad flavour as well.
When it's serious, I'm just good technologist here.
Spade cooking 101. Don't eat the brain trees.
I feel like that would be a textural problem.
Don't eat the yellow snow.
That's always a good one as well. Yeah, don't eat the yellow snow or any odd-looking snow. Don't eat the brain trees. Yeah. Yeah, the texture wouldn't be amazing either, I don't think. But yeah.
And don't drop my screen to use shields. That's most important.
Okay, we've got another SRV ahead here.
And don't eat any of the mushrooms until you know for sure.
Oh yeah.
They're magic.
Inside mushroom.
There's so many fungi around. And bacteria.
Most
and things.
importantly, don't forget
Careful,
your
you
left.
don't die.
Hearing some crunchy noises again.
It's just one step closer from we reach.
Okay. I can see the
Okay,
plume
yeah,
of an
they come up in
SRV.
orbit.
Okay.
If you want to.
I will try and wing you in. Yep.
I like the choice.
Yeah.
I was enjoying being in front of Yannick for a change, but now I find myself chasing his ship yet again.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I try to move through the field where I can. I don't just hang back for one person, so that's why you'll sort of see me going forwards and backwards a little bit. Yeah, it's
I'm
the,
just used to being in the back.
the little plumes as well. The SRV sort of tracks give off. That's quite cool. And then when you get close, you can hear the thrusters firing as well. Ooh, crunchy sounds. I think someone's nearly at the finish. I can see them ahead.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty wild how different the terrain looks from up here in orbit.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. I think, in all fairness, that's one of my biggest criticisms of this era. Terrain is the difference between orbit and on the ground. It's very difficult to scout stuff, or even like start to think how good it might be from orbit, because it's just so different when you get down amongst it.
Yeah.
I think we have a winner. Who has the lights on? I can't see from the distance who it is, but
That's me. That's cute.
congrats.
Thanks.
Really? But,
Yes.
well, sorry, you're
You're
Not
nowhere
close
near the
to-
finish.
the Devil's Tooth. It's not back to the starting point. It's back to
Oh,
that
yes, you're
plug,
right.
that
Actually,
volcanic plug.
should we keep racing then?
Oh, here I
Yeah.
am.
Okay, get everyone.
Also-
Ignore the previous slide. We'll just keep racing. Let's keep going.
Yeah,
No, sorry, Kit.
Snap
You are
another 10
correct. I
points.
was too busy paying attention to the down on the dirt action. You are right. We'll keep racing, everyone. Keep racing. Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
right.
went back to the start point.
We have a way to go yet, so
Right to
yeah.
the rocket star.
Don't worry. I'll move to the Devil's Tooth, and we'll see it there hopefully. I don't think anyone's got close to Devil's Tooth yet in their SRV yet, as far as I can tell.
No, it's a long way yet.
Yeah.
Oh, is it that sort of mountain that looks like it's got a hole in the top?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the one. Oh, there is already a ship here, so that's cool.
I think given the size of that cleft, it's better called the Devil's Toothache.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looking like that, you'd be surprised if they were healthy. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll start the.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're
Got
in
your
the
laser there.
we're in the vicinity of the Devil's
Didn't
Tooth.
know we
Anyway.
had the Devil's Dentist with us.
I don't know if that actually is. Oh, that is the Giza site. Yeah, that is cool. I can see it now. So I think I'm in the right place. But
Yep.
no, thanks for saying that, Kit. It was. I think we all got carried away under the racing conditions.
Well, Ski is still 1.5 kilometers ahead of me, even though he stopped for a rest.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing about the optimum sort of racing strategy for SRVs as well. It's, I think everyone seems to have a slightly different setup by the looks of it, because obviously one of the main things you can change is obviously the different pip settings. Most people don't use, obviously, auto assist and what have you. Drive assist, sorry. I think you get slightly better traction with 3 pips to engines, but then again you won't get the top speed, so it's like varying between the two maybe, and then flying obviously an amount. I think as a rule of thumb you can probably... Exactly, flying is going to be quicker overall.
You just need to be careful because you have to land in between to recharge your engines, and just be careful to not spin.
Actually,
Whoa!
if Logan is highlighting the target, then I will look for the racers as they come forward.
Sure, I'll do that.
Cool. Yeah, it seems a bit of a waste us both sort of doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
Right, I'm trying to look for signs of SRV life ahead.
Look for the double blue lasers.
Oh, I've got one now. I've got a light. Of
Yeah, that's me.
awesome.
3 kilometers from you.
Yeah, I think Mac's about 9 kilometers back from him. Well, from me anyway. Probably about 8 kilometers away.
I'm 5.5 back from Huskers.
About 3.8.
Cool.
Are we allowed to shoot our competitors?
At your own risk. Don't be
I think
surprised if they
that's at the
retaliate.
right range.
Ah, the Braintree field as well.
The rocky fields. Absolute disaster.
Bit of pirouetting going on here.
These rocks are brutal.
Yep. Here we've got Commander BE8. I think they are going to be the winner of this by the looks. I can't see anyone else ahead of them.
Of course I am not the winner this time because I run all my limits in a PTA. I run out of anything.
So Logan is the finish line, yes?
Yes.
That is true,
Look for the
yes.
double blues.
Okay, 1 kilometer to go.
You're nearly there, BE8. You're nearly there. And they go flying.
Yes, you. BA is
And my lasers aren't even hitting the ground, so just run right underneath them, and that's your end of the race. I think I heard somebody blow up.
So did I. Yeah.
Oh, I thought someone shot a missile.
That wasn't
Oh,
an
I'm
SRV,
fine.
that was a ship.
I'm far enough back, I didn't hear the explosion.
I think B8 is now the winner. Yay. They have crossed the finish line. Congratulations, Commander. Yeah, we're near a Braintree field as well, not just the local geezers. With some local geezers. I should know better than that, shouldn't I? That's good.
Yep. He's flying through the geezers, over the lasers.
Yeah.
And there he is.
Beautiful.
That's a win. Well, second technically. It's a win in getting the thing done. But yeah, lasering the geezers. Yeah, there's like a Braintree field as you come across it. Then you see the geyser emissions and the lasers.
Come on, not too slow. When he hitting something, he bouncing back. Oh. Okay, that's fine.
Right, trying to find anyone else who I can see visually on the approach. See,
I'm still a kilometre away.
I see Mac Winston is about 6 kilometers back. I have another SRV coming up quickly. Yep, they're flying. Flying.
Flying rock? No, really.
It's kind of frustrating when I
see
can't
some
actually
anomaly.
find an SRV on the nav panel, but it does happen. But whoever that was, congratulations on second. Was that third now? I think that'd be third actually. Sorry.
I'm third, I think.
Yeah. Cool. And we have oh yeah, there's some SRV firing going on. They've got 2 people quite close together coming through now. One of them is a Scorpion.
That might be me.
I think they're both Scorpions actually.
One of them may be me. Fairly close, maybe.
Ooh, that sounded a bit crunchy. Wasn't a boom
Everything
though.
is crunchy. Very cardboard cars.
Yeah, that's true. Some are louder than others, so it's a loud crunch. Ooh, that sounds horrible.
Oh, somebody got launched by a geezer.
Oh yes. You can definitely do with
There ain't no
something.
such thing as a
Oh,
free launch.
wow, somebody's going way high.
See if we can find them. Oh, here we go.
Nice. That's Quicksilver.
I'm in the air. Yes, I'm in the air.
Oh lord, he's done for. 1.67. Oh, he's getting a 2k. Sure, yep.
Yeah, 2k.
You're gonna be a 2. You're gonna be a 3.
Still rising, yeah,
We're
could
gonna
be.
be ninth
No way.
or later.
3k?
I hate driving this car.
They're hard to drive. They really are.
How high up did you get?
2.89.
Jesus.
Stay back.
It's leveled up now.
That's pretty good. I can't remember what the record actually is for an SRV. It is much higher than that, but I think a much lower gravity world though, and that affects it quite a bit.
Yeah, I've made orbit before.
It was something with permit lock.
I've done 22.
During the Thargoid things, because people were
Yeah.
using using
gonna die.
SRVs into the permit locked moon.
Oh yes, I remember this.
Yeah, I think you're gonna blow up.
There's some quite curious little sort of loopholes that people have found.
I
Nailed it.
remember on one of the
I hit a rock.
How the fuck did you not blow
expeditions,
up?
one of our members found 2 very low gravity moons orbiting extraordinarily close together, and with geysers on both of them. And decided, well, let's see if we can get an SRV from one moon to the other. And he did it. He managed
Did
it.
it?
Mark.
Yeah, was that Wild West or?
I believe so. Yes.
It's 4 of us in PlayStation did it.
I think
Yeah,
I
I was
remember
one
hearing
of them.
about this. Yeah, it's like
only
that's
good
wild.
surveiller.
It's genuinely wild.
No, I'm still here. I just
Oh,
got
Johnny Flash. Mark
miles
Winston.
away.
How the hell did you not
Miles
blow
away
up?
from the geezer.
I think they might have needed a bit of a nudge from a ship near the end.
Mm-hmm.
We did,
But-
yeah. I definitely did.
That makes sense.
Right.
How are you still at 68%?
But yeah, that's definitely got to note it down as one of the most spectacular things. Actually, definitely with an SRV, because obviously it does rely on like the mechanics of the game being kind of, what's the word, like circumvented to a degree, or at least finding some interesting sort of loopholes in it. But yeah, the fact you got it done is remarkable, because I would have assumed that it wasn't going to work. But well done for actually making it happen. You know.
I remember watching the footage and of the landing, and he just like comes in and like skids like 5 miles. It's a good thing. It's a good thing that that particular section of moon was very flat, but he literally was just like coming in and just skid. No traction, no grip, nothing for several kilometers.
Nice.
Finally, he slowed down and got some grip and stopped. And
You lost the entire peloton in front of you. Live with this forever. And everyone else. Because
So
it
was
was very, very part of the track. On the steep
Mac has made it up here.
side.
Cool.
are there any other SRVs coming in?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to turn off my lasers just for a second here to regenerate. They're coming back on now.
I know it's set up to be forever.
Mine's effectively almost forever, but it just takes about... I think I was steadily firing there for... God, I don't know.
6 or 7 minutes at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very
That's a
slowly
good
going
result.
down. Yeah. Oh, here we go. I see another SRV set of lights coming in. And I think
That's
maybe
just me
another
coming
one.
back from the geezer with
Johnny
Johnny
Flash is
Flash
coming
behind
in.
you.
Taxi, please. Terror of the mountain.
Nice. Right.
Where are they?
Okay.
I can see.
Right. I will be back in just 5 minutes.
Oh, there he is. Behind you, Alka.
Perfect.
Beluga, yeah.
Yep. Hello.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, if you disable one of those lasers in the module panel, I bet the other one would go forever.
Yeah, probably.
Most likely.
I see the devil's tooth has a filling.
No.
If you take a look.
Wow.
If it fits, it sits.
Yeah.
Stop hitting me.
Can't quite get my camera up there. Is that a Conda?
Yep, that was a camera. That was a Conda.
Ah, there's somebody coming in and doing a nice spectacular tumbling roll across the finish line. Is that it? Is that all? Anybody else not finished the race yet? No? Nobody's saying that they're still out on the track somewhere? Then I guess we're done. Alright. I don't hear anybody saying
I think that's
Anything?
probably do.
Anything.
I think that's it. Yeah. All right.
Okay, cool. Right. I will now myself head to orbit to try and find a good jump location, and I'll be with you shortly.
Hello there.
What sort of range are we going to need for the jump?
I'm going to try and make it as minimal as I can, so I'll give you the info as quickly as I can as well. But yeah, I'm aiming for something deliberately very low. What's the lowest range that anyone has at the moment, just so that I'm
9.
aware? How many light years range have you got?
78.
It's a highball number there.
I've got 38.
38. Okay.
37.8. Yeah.
I'm on.
It's easy enough to change ship if you want more.
Yeah, I'll deliberately go over something quite low anyway. I think most of the jump targets nearby are like less than 20 light years anyway.
Yeah.
So has anyone got at least 20 light years in their present ships?
Oh yeah.
That's good. Yeah, because some people do switch ships, you know, from carriers and what have you. So just to make sure. So where someone tries to overtake me.
Lurking in the crevasse here.
Oh, nice. Get outside the gravitational influence of this body first, before I do anything else. That's always a wise move.
You. I have a feeling if I let go of my accelerator, I'm gonna fall off.
Yeah, I'm trying to set you down on the ground.
Nope, nope, nope. Ooh. Okay, we're good.
Yeah. You wanna land right on you? Wait. What the hell? My ship wanted to land on your cutter.
Oh, something exploded.
That was my ship.
Spawn points.
I saw something. I saw a big fireball on the side of the mountain.
I report my ship, and apparently it's just suicided into this side of the mountain.
Really?
Yeah, we were talking about this last week when one of our expeditions, half our ship suicided into the side of a mountain.
It does happen from time to time, and it's horrible. Long as you can get back from the carrier or wherever it is that you last docked.
Is that perfect?
Do I just drive around till I die now?
Come on.
It might be quicker if you can't really record your ship from there. Or can you record your ship from there? You might have to self-destruct potentially back to where you were last docked. I think if you've docked at the carrier, then it's probably easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's helpful.
I'll try to edit something I filmed.
Interesting.
So get around the space.
Yeah.
I wonder if you have a multi-vehicle bay and you don't have it fully populated, can you take on somebody else's SRV?
No.
That's unfortunate.
interesting idea, but yeah, no, I don't think.
It's an interesting thought, but I don't think it's possible that I'm aware of.
No, I did kidnap someone's Scorpion and see if I could actually load it into my own ship, and no.
10 out of 10 for good thinking. Or at least 10 out of 10 for ambition, I should say, actually.
Would be funny though.
No plan survives first contact with frontier development.
True. Right. Okay.
I think that's falls. I think I recall a line from Mystery Science Theater 3000. Well, believe me, Mike, I calculated the odds of this succeeding versus the odds I was doing something incredibly stupid, and I went ahead anyway.
You got to be bold sometimes, though. Sometimes doing seemingly idiotic things can be, a positive adventure. Sometimes you discover cool stuff, but often you just end up blowing up in a fireball.
Which can sometimes be a valuable entertainment all on its own.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the jumping point.
Yep, I'm about to put it in the chat. Right, it's in the chat now. The crew lounge chat, that is.
So I will be in your instance.
It's only 12 light years, so we'll all make that very easily.
I'm guessing that you're the low wake I can see.
So, and there's a whole bunch of people. I'll wing you in if necessary in a minute.
Well, I will try dropping on this wake and then we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to do.
Yeah, the truth is, I think with mass jumps, there's certain classics that a lot of people go for, myself included, and one of them is
Bingo.
Through the Rings. it always looks good.
Oh, it's fine.
You want to
Well,
keep
yeah.
close enough to the rings that it looks great, but not close enough becomes an instance problem, because as you know, the closer you get to anybody, the more problems it tends to have. Fingers crossed we'll be okay here.
Which chat channel has the...
The crew lounge one.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
Right, let's have a look. I think we've got most people in the instance so far. Your Husky, JBL, Quicksilver, Mac, Logan, Krabby, Kit.
Joe Bangles here. Can someone send me an invite?
Sure thing.
On it.
No results found.
Huh. Already in a team.
Yep.
It's being weird again, I think.
Hold on.
Whereabouts are you? Because I've got 3 wings here, but I can't see anyone on radar.
We're near the gas giant above the rings.
Alright,
Slightly
I'll head
further
that
from the
way.
planet, yeah. The gas giant where the planet's in orbit of, the moon is in
I
orbit.
tried copy
some
pasting in the address of the star, and it's not giving me any results.
Really?
Go to the navigation panel, and it's at 12.2 light years.
It works on my machine.
Yeah, sometimes you might accidentally...
Copy the
Works on my
target.
machine.
It's 12
That's
light years
the-
away. 12
Yeah.
light years away.
12.2.
3.
Yeah.
That's
Go
what software developers
to-
always say. It works.
Okay,
fine.
there it is. Yeah. Don't know why it wasn't
Sometimes
giving me a solution
you
there.
might copy and paste it accidentally in extra space that's empty, and it doesn't
Yeah.
recognize it. That's the most likely
Probably
thing
what
to
it
happen.
was.
But yeah, I've done that before.
Got any more good talks about the Apollo 14?
Oh, I always do. I just wait till people are sort of in position before we sort of start that, because otherwise I don't want people to start crashing into each other, because they're paying attention to the YouTube chat instead. That's why I always tend to it's either on the ground at an event where everyone's stationary, or we're in orbit and everyone's stationary. So yeah, it's just I don't want to accidentally kill half the expedition just because the presentation was being paid attention to. That would be bad form on my part, definitely.
If you're going to kill half the expedition, don't do it accidentally.
Exactly.
or out of boredom.
Yeah. Or if you're going to do it, make it truly spectacular so no one will ever forget. Then again,
this is where we find out Yannick has invited Harry Potter to the expedition.
Oh, Harry Potter, a blast from the past, very literally.
Or Colonia Jesus.
Oh yeah, I think Colonia Jesus is relatively friendly. He doesn't tend to target expeditions. He'll target anyone in Colonia, hence Colonia Jesus. He'll wipe out anyone in Colonia, but he'll never target expeditions.
In the expedition, he is one.
He didn't kill me last time I was in Colonia because I actually had M7X Mercury 7 Explorers as my ship ID. And he went all nostalgic.
Yeah, well that's the thing. I mean, me and him used to be custodians of CCN in Colonia a while back. So he was an explorer as well at one point, but I kind of went the other way in terms of becoming a over-enthusiastic PvPer, shall we say. But he's a good guy. I would describe him as being a ganker, but an honourable ganker. He does have limits to who he'll target, and he won't just target anyone just for the fun of it. He's not a sort of Potter of this world, who will literally just he'll target anyone for fun, basically. People like Potter and what have you. So yeah, not all gankers are the same, but yeah.
Right.
It's interesting.
I must admit, I arrived in Colonia after doing a little bit of some solar exploration, and the first thing I saw was Colonia Jesus, and it was like, oh, crap.
He's got quite a reputation, but as you say, to be fair, also, even if he does zap you, he'll usually have a conversation afterwards. He's friendly in that regard. He will at least say I recognize you from wherever, and it's he'll at least sort of have a nice little talk with you and maybe give you a few tips how to survive in the future. So it's I prefer that than the sort of Potter, let's just be as annoying as possible.
Oh,
which
he's
seems
just an asshole, basically.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I was going to say, I think he was active a couple of years ago still. I don't think he's active right now, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I think he got banned.
Who is there?
Oh,
Yeah, he got banned and then let in again and then rebanned again. Do we have a slight collision there between two ships? Oh, we've got a few ships from Anaconda. Yeah.
Conda arrived and bashed into
it. Yeah, unfortunately that happens.
Yeah, hit my mandolin.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, when you come out of Super Cruise, sometimes it does bring you in too fast and too close to other ships. And if you're a Conda, stopping is hard. So yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
So okay, I think, is anyone else trying to get into the instance at the moment? If that's a no, then I'll probably start the presentation. I'll drop the YouTube link in the chat as well. The main chat, the crew lounge one. Cool. Right. Right, in crew lounge I've put the link to this present stream I'm doing, and we can see the presentation on that.
I'm gonna disconnect from voice until the presentation's over. I'll be back later.
Okay, cool. You'll probably be in the chat as well, I know. Right, okay, bear with. Right, okay. I thought the audio was gone there for a second. Apologies to you. I'll start the presentation now. Okay, as on the Apollo 14 expedition, we like to talk about space history a little bit. And yeah, a little bit of a cliffhanger last week when we were sort of talking about the crew selection and how and Alan Shepard's rehabilitation into being a fully fledged flying astronaut who could go on a space flight somewhere. And where we got to was his initial appointment after, not long after returning to flight status. Funnily enough, not long after Apollo 12, I think, landed on the moon. Around about that time, they decided, NASA hierarchy, that they were going to put him as the mission commander for Apollo 13. Now everyone's obviously thinking, well, that didn't happen, did it? He didn't command Apollo 13, he commanded Apollo 14. Indeed, originally, though, that was not the case. He was indeed put up, as was his entire crew, to be the crew of Apollo 13, and definitely there's a certain amount of dodging a bullet going on there. In considering what happened to Apollo 13, yeah, that was definitely a good piece of luck on his part, having just sort of returned to active duty in the astronaut corps. But yeah, the initial announcement was that his comrades in Apollo 14, what would be Apollo 14, were going to be obviously Stu Roosa, who this waypoint is named after, and Edgar Mitchell. Now, how do we get to this point where Apollo 13's crew and Apollo 14's were actually swapped over? We have to go a little bit back a couple of years, well, about a year or so, to the era of Apollo 10, and this was the backup crew for Apollo 10. On the left we have the well-known Mercury 7 astronaut, Gordo Cooper, who flew at the end of the Mercury era, had the longest of the Mercury flights, and did a brilliant job of manually re-entering the spacecraft when virtually all the systems had failed. Arguably one of the most brilliant feats of piloting in history of spaceflight. He had little more than a stopwatch and literally making marks against his spacecraft window to actually work out the re-entry and the timing, because he was manually actually pushing the valves to actually start the retro rockets, and everything normally that would be an automated process via a computer after he put in the appropriate sequence. But doing that manually, even by the standards of the Mercury 7, it was an incredible feat. Also, we have in the middle a name well known to us all from Apollo 14, is Edgar Mitchell. This is his first sort of serious appointment as a backup crew member. And once you're basically in the rotation as a backup crew member at least, then there's almost certainly you'll be flying at some point into space. And Mitchell obviously has his own particular story, which we will get to on a different time. Obviously on the right we have Don Isley, who'd actually been on the first manned Apollo flight, Apollo 7, as the command module pilot. But Mitchell was the backup lunar module pilot for Apollo 10, the dress rehearsal for Apollo 11. Now this starts a very interesting sort of musical chairs and sort of organizational politics, which I'll summarize as quickly as I can. The curious case of the Apollo 14 crew assignments. They say under normal circumstances, the men we've just seen, the Apollo 10 backup crew of Cooper, Isley and Mitchell, would have rotated into be the Apollo 13 main crew prime crew in the vernacular of NASA. But that's not something that happened. Basically, the hierarchy of NASA didn't really trust Cooper enough to actually put the effort in to succeed in being the Apollo 13 actual commander. Basically, he'd been kept in NASA and, you know, kind of given several chances by Slayton, the head of NASA flight crew, against the wishes largely of people higher up in the chain of command at NASA. So in a way that Slayton was kind of protecting Cooper. Cooper was an incredibly naturally talented pilot, as just described on his Mercury flight. Sadly, though, he had a reputation for being somewhat lazy, and he wasn't putting in the work. And to be Apollo commander, you have to be able to fly two spacecraft, the command module and the lunar module. So you basically have to do effectively, you know, 2 or 3 jobs. 1, you have to command the mission, 2, fly the lunar module, and 3, fly the command module at different times. So in a way, you have 3 separate jobs you have to attend to. It's an incredibly demanding role at the best of times, and Cooper just was spending a lot of his time, rather than concentrating on the work he needed to do, going off and doing like junior NASCAR and various other sort of quite risky sports at a time where everyone else was knuckling down and paying their full attention to what was an incredibly difficult thing. I mean, as pure piloting, I'm sure Cooper could have done these things, but Apollo was more than just flying. There was science involved, and there was various bits of in-flight PR they had to do, you know, including TV work. But as you can see, the initial selection, what could have been potentially Apollo 14's crew, Apollo 13 in reality, was actually basically completely crossed out by NASA. In that, only Mitchell remained, and Mitchell was selected by Alan Shepard because he was considered to be, maybe along with Fred Hayes, to be the great expert within the astronaut corps on the lunar module systems. And obviously, if you're going to the moon, you want the expert flying with you if you possibly can, and Edgar Mitchell, he was that guy. Obviously, Stu Roosa, the command module pilot for Apollo 14, was initially Shepard's choice for Apollo 13 as his command module pilot. But initially, obviously, the Apollo 14 prime crew was to be the well-known Lovell, who obviously did a command Apollo 13 in the end, and we've got Mattingly and Hayes as his comrades in that one. So after sort of Cooper is basically sort of denied the possibility of flying properly in Apollo, it's decided that they're going to have to swap around the crews of Apollo 13 and 14. This is basically because Shepard had only recently returned to active duty as an astronaut. Basically the head of NASA had said to Slayton, it's like, I can't accept your crew recommendation for Apollo 13. Shepard needs more time to train, only because of the fact that he hasn't actually been active, you know, for several years, and we just want to be sure that he will do that. It's the only time, I think, in the whole history of Gemini and Apollo that Slayton's crew recommendations actually got turned down by the head of NASA. But in this case, it was only a small change in switching around the Apollo 13 and 14 crews. Obviously, no one knew at this time what was about to happen to them. And those who have watched Apollo 13 or know much about it realize that the crew that flew for Apollo 13 wasn't even that either. Jack Swigert was switched over with Ken Mattingly because Mattingly was suspected of having, I think, chicken pox at the time. Turned out he didn't, but they thought that he did, and having chicken pox on an active mission would have been very bad news indeed. But here we come back to the crew of Apollo 14. This is obviously them being this is the command module simulator. Obviously they spent many hours in this one. Obviously the actual command module itself will be flown at different times by both Roosa and Shepard, depending on the maneuver. And them again with a mock-up of the lunar module, which I think was used for various sort of purposes during training. Right. The man who this waypoint is named after, Mr. Stuart Roosa, a United States Air Force pilot, a quite accomplished test pilot. By the time he got into NASA in the 5th group of astronauts, you didn't actually need to be a test pilot, unlike the first 2 groups in which you actually did. But he was anyway, and that was obviously a big bonus for him. You can see obviously this picture from his USAF days. This is his official NASA portrait from the era. I think that's the Block 1 command module he's actually got in his hands there. The first one, the Block 1 was phased out very quickly after the Apollo 1 fire because it was considered to be unsafe, and the Block 2s were going to be flown to the moon anyway, so they just scrapped the whole thing and went with the second era of Apollo command modules. Obviously, being the command module pilot meant that he was never going to land on the lunar surface himself. Like all the CMPs, he was going to remain in orbit, and part of his duties would have been to actually do various scientific experiments when he was up there for several days by himself, and also taking photographs out the window of the lunar surface for not just scientific purposes, but also as reconnaissance for possible future Apollo lunar landings. Now, even after Apollo 14, Stu did remain in the astronaut corps at NASA. He was appointed to be the command module backup pilot for Apollo 16. This is the whole back crew for 16. You know, Edgar Mitchell is also in this. I think the deal was with that Mitchell and Roosa made with Deke Slayton for their assignment, as it were. Well, it wasn't really a deal, I suppose, because they could just told this was going to be the case. Like, because you two are getting a ride on Apollo 14, you're going to have to do backup duty at least once more, and they did on this. Obviously, in the middle we have Mr. Fred Hayes of Apollo 13 fame, who's promoted to the backup commander in this. And finally, in the Apollo era, Roosa's final assignment was actually the backup command module part of Apollo 17. I mean, having 2 backup duties in a row is incredibly time consuming. And because you're basically the understudy to the astronaut that flies, you do exactly the same training as they do. You obviously get to know them really well, and you literally will do almost everything together. And you have to know, obviously, the mission as well as the actual astronaut that's flying, just in case you have to fill their shoes at the last minute, as happened with Jack Swigert on Apollo 13. As you see, like 13 and 14 are inextricably sort of linked missions. But even on Apollo 17, we have some familiar faces from the Apollo 14 era, not just Stu Roosa himself, but we also have Gene Cernan, who was obviously in the backup crew, as Ron Evans, and they obviously got to fly as the prime crew on 17, and Gene Cernan famously last man on the moon. I really like this pic though, because it's quite sort of casual and quite funny. I think there's some kind of prank thing going, because it looks like that Cernan's probably wearing a false moustache. This was years before Movember was a thing, and people would have moustaches to raise money for charity in November. I also like the pipe in the middle that John Young is holding in his mouth, obviously. But yeah, it's quite fun. But that's the history of the Apollo 13 and 14 sort of switcheroo, and the command module pilot Stu Roosa. And I think we're in position still in the game and ready to go, I hope. We're returning to the gas giant in Elite Dangerous. I think everyone's still lined up in position. If anyone wants to get back into voice as well, now is probably a good time. We'll probably get to jump in the next sort of 5 minutes or so once now that everyone's ready and able.
Yes, we're ready.
Okay, let's go to external.
In the pipe, 5x5.
Ah, nice.
You got the one snowman. I'm eastbound and down.
What is snowman?
I think it might be a reference to Apollo 14 again. There was a crater called Snowman, which they sort of used
There's
as...
also one on Apollo 11. No.
There's probably quite a few craters that look similar on the moon, I suspect, but you might be right about that. But there was definitely a snowman on Apollo 14 that they used as a navigational reference as well. They saw that, they knew they were kind of on target, and that was in like the vicinity of where they were going.
Yep.
Because you listen to also the landing sort of recordings, and you hear certain craters get mentioned a lot. There's like Cone, Triplet, Doublet, and Snowman, I think, got mentioned a certain amount. But yeah, there's got to be a lot of snowman craters on the moon. It's like one crater, like almost on top of the other, so it looks a little bit like a snowman.
Well, actually, if he's saying Eastbound and Down and Snowman, that's a reference to Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
And the Jerry Reed song, Eastbound and Down.
I don't think I know this song. That's probably why I didn't think of it. Fair enough, though. No, I just see we're in Apollo 14 mode, so it's all good, though. I didn't know that before, and I do now. Okay, does anyone else need to get into the instance, or is everyone here?
Well, I tell you what. As much of a country song as it is, since it's a trucking song, it also does pretty well for hauling across the bubble in Elite Dangerous.
Yeah, I'm sure there's quite a few trucking songs like that. Or oh, someone's boosting ahead already.
Oops.
Someone's already gone already.
Gone.
I was gonna say, yeah. I didn't. I don't think. Accidentally gave the command too early or something.
Now I don't feel so bad. I've done that before.
I was gonna say I'm 10 out of 10 for enthusiasm. Yeah.
Wait a minute. It's
11 out of 10.
it's
I accidentally hit the boost button.
Don't worry, we'll wait for you to come back.
Hyperspace jump already boosted up.
Yeah, if
The
you
way you avoid that is put down your cargo scoop or your landing gear.
if you want to come back, we can wing you in. I don't really mind a few minutes. It's okay.
Oh yeah, I can
That's why you shall not engage FSD early.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense to like to wait a little bit, at least.
I should have brought the fireworks.
I have some.
Oh yeah.
Cool. If you want to do that, then please do.
Me, I haven't even fire grouped them yet.
I have some on my other ship though, not on this one. The funny, this Orca is actually, it's not the best explorer that I have, but it's the best meetup ship because it's got such a good speed to it. I can cover a lot of ground very quickly.
Yeah.
But it's only got like a 40 light year range, so I can explore in it, but
Yeah,
it's just
there we
not as
go.
efficient. Oh, that's cool.
Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad.
Yes.
What's the modification to that has like the multicolored fireworks on it?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's actually for the multicolored ones. That was the pre-engineered launchers that was available right at the tail end of the Titan event.
Oh right. Okay.
Or no, Christmas. That was it. There was a Christmas charity or very specific things. You had to get to specific places.
Well, that was quite a long ago.
Yeah, it was it's kind of what's the term I'm looking for here?
It's like a one-off. Okay, yeah.
Right. And so if you got all of those, one of the prizes you got, amongst other things like snowflake paint jobs and all that, was red, green, and blue and yellow fireworks.
That's pretty.
I like the different colours, definitely. That's cool. I think mine are kind of one colour only, so.
Right. Ah, I see red, pink, yellow.
Yellow and green.
Pretty good. Yeah.
You got quite a show now.
It's good for the stream as well. Provide some entertainment in the meantime.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hey, Andy Pipkin. Hey, Duchess. Just in time for the mass jump. Yes, indeed, Andy. That is true.
Husky is a light second away.
That's great, yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
No worries. Just thinking of someone's comments earlier on about sort of distant worlds and mass jumps and that. I mean, I think if it's anything like DW2 was, it'll just melt the servers. And if we had like half the sign-ups, it'll still probably melt the servers on the first jump.
I think, yeah. In fact, when they tried
There
doing
will be
all
6
the
different mass jumps.
even in they couldn't get everybody into the same instance, but they got like the equivalent of this expedition's stuff into like about 10 different instances at Pallius, and they had everybody jump it or try to jump at about the same time, and it did in fact crash the entire server network for about 30 minutes.
Yep. But that was the point, isn't it? As you say, it's like you say there's so many individual mass jumps going on at the same time. I don't know how many there were, but it must have been several thousand commanders trying to jump simultaneously, which just doesn't happen normally. I think Frontier said that they had actually kind of like got more server capacity, but it wasn't enough. I think they still underestimated it, because like you got
Not by a long way.
Yeah, exactly. 14,000 sign-ups, and let's assume 4,000 of those jumped all at the same time. They probably didn't anticipate that, but well, they know now. You know, if it happens again, it's like, well, you were warned before. You know.
Yep.
But yeah, I was thinking also, it's like in this era of the game, how many could we get into an instance? I mean, I've seen instances of 50. I think one of 70 probably, but. You know, I think the all-time record is still like early Horizons era, like about 105 or something like that. But yeah, it would be nice to gain a new record. I think I have my eye on that. I won't be meek about this one. I have my eye on getting a new record if we can, if DW3 happens. So yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice indeed. Not just for the record, but also for like the attempt as well, because you know, like 100+ ships in the same instance, that's gonna look amazing.
Oh man!
And these things are cool, but yeah, that would be mind blowing.
I'll tell you what would be really cool would be if they could get not just everybody in a line or a loose group like this, but imagine if you could get several concentric circles.
Yeah.
Like a formation.
Yeah.
And then have whichever works out to be the more spectacular looking thing. Either have the inner circle jump first, then the then the next, and then the outer circle, or the other way around.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done a couple of intersecting two-way mass jumps, where essentially you time it so that the two echelons converge on the same point and just manage to hyperspace before they hit each other.
Oh yeah.
I did one of them on the I think it was the Orion expedition. No, it wasn't. It might have been Apollo 14.
To Andromeda, you certainly did.
Yeah. Well, I did one that was actually a head-on.
Yeah.
And
that's true. Yeah.
That was hairy. I think we got two ships probably within a kilometer of each other before they both hyperspaced in the opposite direction.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one it is. I think it might have been Passage to Andromeda. We definitely tried one on that. We may have tried it before actually, but you're right. I think at least twice has this been done, and it's been. You're right. One of them was quite hairy because we got way closer than anticipated.
Yeah, the first one was actually from Sagittarius A, and it was the end of the Orion expedition and the start of the Eastern Promise expedition. The two groups each pointed in the direction they were going to go.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard about that.
No, that was amazing actually.
Yeah, I have the video. I'll post it in the channel at some point. I think it's on my I think it's on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Post the link later. Yeah.
No, absolutely.
I think coordinating that with a fleet carrier jump was, I think, maybe a challenge too far.
Yeah.
I think that's what we tried for Passage to Andromeda, was to get the fleet carrier as well, but it just that was, you say, the instance just wouldn't permit it.
Yeah.
And it was a shame, but you're right. It's like, but the two expeditions going at each other that way, it looked amazing if you were in it. It looked amazing if you were outside it as well, because we had a couple of obviously chase planes as well, so chase ships. So yeah, it was a great sight to behold.
I remember we started right after carrier jump. It was the marker for us.
Right, I think everyone is actually here now, so we're all ready to go. Okay, I will start the count in a moment.
Yedidoy says recently had an expedition with a 100+ ship start. And it was about then that the instance started falling apart. It was clean space, though, no rings or planets.
That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I'd had the same thought about you'd have to minimize any external interference in it. But yeah,
Oh,
even... Sorry.
And Mark Winston earlier said, sadly, I have to go, see you all next week.
Yeah, and I'm sure he, like clockwork, he tends to do that because he's a pub appointment every week with his dad. So yeah, kind of used to that one. It's like a sort of marker of various expeditions.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know the ceremonies are over when Mark has to go to the pub.
Or you know that it's coming to the end of the evening. It depends when we start, but yeah, you're right. It's definitely a marker of every event we've usually done. Okay, spool up everybody, and I'll begin the count not long afterwards. Okay, ready to go in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, engage. And we're away.
Yes.
Small step for the expedition.
Indeed, indeed.
But big step for the science.
Yep.
True. And we have arrived.
Woohoo! I'm getting back to Mississippi. Switching to my mining ship.
It's amazing how much juice you can actually use up just hovering around.
It really is.
Here tanks is nearly empty, and also market is open for...
Look at the pretty colours of all the different commanders flying around. All the different trails.
We'll try and get you some tritium later today.
Yeah, I've got an evening appointment. Are you gonna leave the carrier there overnight?
As usual, she will go to the next waypoint later, like in the last 2 days.
I'll probably dock with the carrier myself as well.
Yeah, I'm...
Everyone. 07.
07.
07.
07.
I suppose the one thing of having a ship with not that much range for an explorer, it does kind of force you to maybe stop and see more stuff along the way because you can't really buckyball it.
Yeah.
I tend to set sub waypoints in between them, and once I get down to a reasonable jump range, I'll switch it back to economy just so I run into more stuff.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it.
I was trying to go across the negative, trying to see if I could find any interesting things like Lagrange clouds and all that, but I didn't run into anything like that. But I did come across some good bioscience stuff. And so I did like an economy route across this nebula about halfway here.
Yeah.
Got a rare day off tomorrow, so I'm gonna try and hit as many systems as I can. This last week, I kind of had to jump in 2 or 3 nights and just catch up.
Yeah.
Just borderline buckyballing.
No, that's understandable.
By the way, if anybody knew where that, somebody mentioned a tritium hotspot or two near our waypoint here. I forget exactly where it was listed, but if you can repost that, that'd be great.
It's posted under carrier logistics.
Okay.
Nice.
Righto then.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a bit of a break because I spent most of the morning doing this, and I'll come back in the later afternoon or early evening and do a little bit more.
It'll be evening for me as well. I have a dinner engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking how long he's going to hang around. I don't want to
Yeah,
be
definitely
stuck
want
in my minor with a 30-year jump range. That would be painful.
Yeah. What's the minimum amount of tritium you're going to need, AG?
He's gone.
Okay.
Never mind.
It's a shame.
Well, if he's getting low, then we'll try and top him off as best we can, I guess. Probably need to modify one of them. I have a ASP for basic mining, but I might want to move all the gear over to the old combat conda and make a conversion.
I'm still debating whether I want to migrate all my engineered gear over and run the ASP for the next leg or not.
Yeah.
Well, you certainly can't. Well, as I said earlier, you certainly can't beat the view from the ASP's cockpit.
No, the Phantom doesn't have a bad view. It's just not quite as good.
Not quite as good, yeah.
It's a great little ship still, the ASP. Even now, you know, a nicely engineered FSD, and you're good to go.
I think, if I remember right, I ran it through Coriolis. I only lose like 3 or 4 light years running it with the exact same components I've got on the Phantom here.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Look on the and there's another bright side. Since the ASP is so cheap, if you do prang it, well, it's not that great an insurance cost.
This is true.
Yeah, well, that's the case. I think most people
at 4 million.
Still sort of have an affection for the ASP, especially if they've been flown it in the game for quite a long time. But yeah, it's a great little ship.
I only flew it for about a week, and it's still by far, I think, my favorite ship in the game.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd only been playing about 2 weeks when I caught your first stream that the expedition was leaving, and that's when I started booking it back to the bubble to get ready and head out and meet up.
Well, I'm glad to have you with us. Now, it is a great little ship, isn't it? It's a good sort of, obviously it's designed to be optimized as an explorer, but yeah, it's such fun. It really is. But you're right. Also, the rebuy cost.
It's an all-arounder.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ski has a very sort of, it's a very sort of NASA sort of paint job. It's like all white, isn't it?
My ASP had a different name before we had official names in the game. Unfortunately, the name I chose was too long, so I had to choose something else. So that's when I changed it. I gave it the name it has now, called Far Horizon. But what I had intended to call it, since at that time it was both, it was serving as a long-range trader for me.
Okay.
You know, cargo hauler. I called it the 26th rule of acquisition.
I love the Star Trek reference. Yeah.
Which happens to be, there's nothing more dangerous than an honest businessman.
That's such a Ferengi way of looking at things.
Indeed. I need to go back and rewatch Deep Space Nine. I've neglected that.
It's a great series. Yeah.
I've never seen it all the way through. I've seen bits and pieces. I have seen that famous episode In the Pale Moonlight, which is awesome.
Oh, that's the best ever, probably.
I'm certain Next Generation's the only one I've seen all the way through more than once.
I love DS9 more than any other Star Trek. I think for me TNG is slightly behind it, but only very slightly. They're almost the same, really. But all worth watching all the way through. Even Voyager's worth watching all the way through. Though I don't like it as much, I still think it's good. You know, yeah. But DS9 is definitely still underrated. I think DS9 is one of those series, if people like it, they usually really like it. Because people who don't tend to be just haven't really watched it that much. And because a few of my friends, I keep trying to get them into.
What was the other series you said?
Oh, Voyager.
That you were Voyager? Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
Of the Star Trek series.
Yeah, just in Star Trek series.
For some reason, I thought you said. I have no idea how I got this out of it, but I thought you said BSG. I don't know why. Which would be Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Which is itself a really damn good series.
Fair enough, yeah. I've not watched much of the new Battlestar Galactica. I've watched the original when I was a kid, and then the new one I've watched about 3 episodes, so I don't really know a huge amount about it. was good what I saw though.
Yeah.
But yeah, DS9 is like, anyone who hasn't watched DS9 on the way through, I'd thoroughly recommend doing so, because I think a lot of people are put off because it's based on the space station, but it's like, it's better than you think it is, because they do actually travel all over the place, and they actually have their own starship as well, so they aren't just on a space station. Even that does it disservice, but you know, it's because it genuinely goes to places, you know, where the other Star Treks just don't, because of the fact they kind of have to live with the consequences of their actions.
Yeah. I know why I kind of missed DS9 at the time, because all of my attention essentially was taken up with Babylon 5.
Ah, okay.
And that was an experience, I'll tell you. But I recently rewatched a particular bit from an episode which had Marcus the Ranger. He was trying to get some information, desperately trying to save someone, and he basically sat down to this poker game with a bunch of thugs in the darker parts of the station. He says, I figure you fellows will know something of what I need to know. And the guy's like, how do you know that? Well, because if you don't tell me, within 5 minutes I will be the only person standing at this table. And 5 minutes after that, I'll be the only person left standing in this room. And they all get up, and it looks kind of bad for him. And then after you cut back to the A plot and then cut back to his plot, he's basically beat down the entire room, and he's finally gotten like the last guy and he's like, you know, who's almost ready to give up the information, and then tries to make a break for it, knocks him out, and he goes, "Bugger! Now I'll have to wait for somebody to wake up."
Yeah.
And then let's see. No, Veer. What was the name of the? The junior Minbari aboard the station, who was the assistant to Ambassador Delenn, played by me. His name start with a V, I think. No, it didn't start with a V. Something else.
IMDb to the rescue.
Unless
you're looking for old MASH content, and then you'll get the wrong actors because there's a movie and the series.
Right. Well, anyway, that Minbari happens along and bumps into Marcus doing his finishing up there, and he says, "I see they trained you well back on Minbari." I said, "Yes. They said I had a lot of repressed anger, and I'm not repressed anymore." The dialogue on that show is always top notch.
I can hear someone's ship going below decks, I think.
I'm logging out now, and it's been excellent.
Awesome.
I will see. Oh, I had a couple of amusing pictures that have nothing to do with the expedition in the images section there, since we were talking about various things. But you might find them amusing anyway.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, I'll, like I said, I'll be back on later this evening, so I'll pop back in if you're about. I'll talk to you then, I guess.
Awesome.
Righto.
I think I'll probably call it a night as well, but thank you for everyone who's been here this evening. Thank you everyone in the stream chat. It's been a great little time, and enjoy the view, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good one.
Absolutely. Talk to you later.
Have a good night.
See you next week. Bye.
It was a pleasure.